to you today to talk some magic. Phonics. Everybody hears about the words are magic, and they're casting spells on you. And they are. We hear about babbling, and it's because you don't know the spelling. And so when we look at the phonics, we're going to take a little deeper look into the phonics of the magic. Because it's spelled out for you if you realize to realize with your real eyes. So let's take the word phonic and break it down. One of the first things I want to point out to everybody is that it relates directly to your body and how your body works. The first two letters in phonics is PH. Can anybody tell me what pH means? Everybody talks about getting your pH in balance and whether it's alkaline or acidic. What's the pH stand for? Does anybody know? Has anybody bothered researching it to find out? Because I have. And pH stands for power of hydrogen. Power of hydrogen. And then when we see it in phonics, we think of, if you've done your research and you see that in the word phonics, you get curious as to what onic means. So let's break down onic. Onic being two separate derivatives from Latin and Greek languages, being one, O-N-E, and it's not pronounced one, it's pronounced own, as in P-H-O-N-E, phone. So we're right back to the word and its vibratory capabilities, its movement, what it's capable of moving. You can move mountains with your words. So when we look at this, onic, made up of one, in a short sense, O-N, or own, O-N. And own is a suffix used in the names of ketones and analogous chemical compounds. So it's relating to chemicals or drugs, pharmacology. And when we look at the root IC, it means having some characteristics. So when we look at the word phonics, we see the power of hydrogen chemical characteristics. What is hydrogen then? Hydro, water, generation of water. Did you know the human body and most bodies in life have a generation of water, a water generation known as a water gene? And it's part of the body's inherent knowledge that it needs hydrogen. It has to have water generation. It has to be able to generate water. And when we look at the Phoenician definition of water, the original definition of water is the electromagnetic current. The polarization of the water molecules in your body. Because as you vocalize through the movement of your vocal cords, you are verbalizing. Verb is an action. So when you speak, you're acting, and your actions can move mountains. You don't have to move mountains by getting out there and physically shoveling the shit yourself. If you know how to speak, you can project the mountain be moved. Whatever mountain before you, whether it be child support, child custody, court fines, fees, penalties, and all that, learn the words. Learn how they're spoken. And learn how to verbalize them yourself. And I suggest, in order to do that, so that you can realize with your realize, you do some studying. Because that's what it's going to take. Because like I've said all along, it comes down to the words. It really does. And if you don't comprehend that, and you don't take that step to get back to the root cause, the root words, and the root knowledge, you'll never become wise to the truth of the words. Never. Let's see. Yes, Justin, they didn't call it Babel for nothing. That's the whole creation of Babel, is getting away from the truth of the words. See, back in the time of the Tower of Babylon, man was trying to reach the word. He was trying to reach the truth. He wanted to build a stairway that would go all the way to heaven, because he wanted to know what heaven was, because he didn't know what heaven was. It was only spoken of. Nobody'd seen it. Nobody been there and came back and spoken of it. As above, or as below, as above, on earth as it is in heaven. This is. Heaven is your own creation. It's how you speak to each other. Again, you know, the Constitution and this government of the United States is based on the Bible. And they provide a Constitution, Articles of Confederation, Declaration of Independence, and a peace treaty. And it's all done with words, and they're all magical. In the beginning was Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was Word, and the Word was truth, and the Word was truth. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with magic, and the Word was magic. And all you got to do is learn how they cast the spells by breaking them down, letter by letter if you have to. The power of hydrogen chemical actions. The power of hydrochemical actions. The power of water. And again, the root definition of water is electromagnetic energy. We use it today. The Army Corps of Engineers has dams all around this country using hydroelectric energy. And all it is the movement of water going down a tube and spinning a fan, set of blades that cause polar actions in the electrons in the copper windings. And we do the same thing within our body, simply by taking a drink of water. Did you know, and I'm going to leave people astounded, that you don't need water? What you need is hydrogen. You need water generation. You need to move that water. You need to get up off your butt and move. And the most profound way you can move and get others to move is with your words. And I'm only hoping that my words are getting you to move. They're done in love and peace. And that's all I can ask is for you to get off the couch and learn this stuff yourself. instead of getting on the phone or babbling, do your research. Find the roots. What are your roots? We were talking about trust law here with somebody earlier, and they were talking about they're changing the trust laws, and that the beneficiary has to step forward and acknowledge and let everybody know that they're a beneficiary. That's only if you're involved in a public trust. Your private membership association established as a trust ain't none of their business. Now, if they want to contract with your private membership association to disclose your trust terms and identities, then that's a different matter. I would charge them extensively. Anything they write down in their legislative laws has to do with public, not private. Period. Let's see here. Let's do another one. When you say that hydro is not the definition of water, let me explain that, because that's what I'm looking at here. Hydrogen is water. In the sense that we think of it today, it is water. And that is, in fact, the root of hydro, water. But it also means other things. So just because it means other things in a context doesn't mean it does not mean water. It means that when you're speaking in a context of something other than water, then you have to clarify it. Just like I spoke of in the trust. When somebody comes forward with a public trust and tells you that parties have to be identified and identifiable, they have to announce themselves as the beneficiary or trustee, one or the other. They cannot be both. So when they step forward, they have to clarify whether they are operating, have the characteristics of water or some other meaning of hydro. That's what we're talking about. So hydro does mean water. It just depends on the context that you're speaking of. Anybody else got any comments? I'd like to have some interaction here. I no longer see a thing to invite people to join me in video, but I appreciate all kinds of comments and interaction back and forth. I'm trying to instigate, as you might say, some kind of forward action in your own life so you can start comprehending this stuff and take action yourself. And just by knowing the truth. Just by knowing the truth and realizing how it can be used will motivate one to use it themselves. At least that's what I found in my experience. When I realize the truth and I'm able to point it out to them, then all of a sudden, wait a minute. When that nice policy officer pulls up alongside me on my bike and asks me to pull over, and I ask him why, and he says, because you were driving down the middle of the street, I can turn around. Oh, really? Driving on a bike? I've never known any law that requires me to have a license to drive a bike. Well, you know what I mean. No, I don't. Can you please clarify? You've made an accusation that I was driving. I don't know what you mean because I know the truth. And by stating that I was driving, what I think you mean is you don't know what you're talking about or that you're blatantly lying. So you are either lying, knowing the truth, or you are babbling. Which is it? Do you know your job? Do you get compensated appropriately for that job, or are you being overcompensated? Well, can I see your ID? I don't have an ID. Well, what's your name? I don't have a name either. Well, everybody's got a name. No. Persons have names. Real men have callings. Well, again, you know what I mean. No, I don't. And it comes to a great effect on most of them if you do so in peace. I do my best not to get irate and angry or incensed and emotional about this stuff anymore. I will project it bluntly and let them know I know better. See, you're not playing with a fool anymore. I'm educating myself and I'm never going to stop, ever. That's the point of this. Knowledge, wisdom, truth. Yeah, that's a Derek. Yeah, Derek Gonzalez just did a video the other day on word magic. And that's and I've been telling people this all along for the last 4 years. It comes down to the root, or down to the words. So let's get to the root cause and realize that the root cause is the words that are being used against us and preventing us from having the root knowledge. So when we realize the root cause is the root words, then we start investigating the root words. And when we are able to discern the root words, we can then apply the root knowledge through experience. And that's what brings wisdom. You can't have wisdom just sitting on your porch watching the world go around. You have to experience it. You have to go out and be part of it. You have to move those water molecules in every way imaginable. And it's like I've said before, this isn't the only way we communicate. We communicate by writing, which is a movement. We communicate by body language, which is a movement. It's the I see, the ick of everything in life. It's the causation. It's the movement. It's the transformation that we see when we use the phonics. I was in what I thought was a conversation with a girlfriend at one time, and it got heated and excited. And she was getting all mad and upset. She started getting loud, thinking that the louder she spoke, the more magic would work. And I looked at her and I said, Callie, stop yelling. And she looked at me. I'm not yelling. So you have to realize with your real eyes by looking at everything deeply, specifically the words they're using against you on all these documents. Those are meant for public. If they want to address you in private, they'll do so appropriately by using the proper address technique or address style, and you will recognize it that way, and then you can accept it as a private communication. Anything else is a public communication, and they're trying to slander you. They're trying to libel you. They're trying to make you liable. They're trying to see if you know what a lie is. And that's why you have to realize the real lies with your real eyes. So please, people, wake up. Please. Please do your due diligence by doing the research yourself so that when people like Derek and I post this stuff about the words being magic, you will actually take heed and listen and know that we are not lying to you. We're showing you sources. We're showing you how to do the research. We're showing you how we, in effect, stand up and do these things ourselves. I'm pasting my PayPal link here in the comments and hoping people will show their gratuities. I'm going to attach it to the post above here. as well. Because I hope what I put out is worthwhile for you guys to pay attention. Because I think it's worthwhile. I think doing your own research and following what they're really saying in all these documents in truth will expose the lies, so you can just, excuse my language, tell them to fuck off. Plain and simple. Because they are using the phonics against you. They're moving you. They're using the energy they have in their vocalizations, verbalizations, transliterations, their lies, the magic of their lies to move you when it shouldn't have any effect whatsoever. And that's what it is for me. I mean, I giggle every time I think about that DA that continues to renew the protection order they put out against me. That's my effect on them years later. And I ain't been into their courts. I ain't even been in their county but for a couple of weeks here this last December. Other than that, I left earlier this summer after being back for about 8-9 months after a trip to New Hampshire. Yeah, I'm moving. I don't need to worry about them or anybody else anymore, because all I got to do is break down the words, pure and simple, and all you got to do is the same. So I hope you guys pay attention and realize, again, like I spoke of before, the English language itself, even though you have a concise English handbook, trying to bring things to a one-to-one communication, we have to still get down to the roots of the English words that we're using as well. So don't let that be your only source and think that that's the end-all be-all. You still have to do your research to get back to the origins of where we come to the English language today, because it was based itself on many other languages. Tower of Babylon was the splitting of a comprehension of one peoples acting as one. Many different peoples, the 12 tribes of Israel, acting as one, though they were separate tribes. They still knew they were one. But when they decided they wanted to reach the heavens, then there was a division. And that division was sent upon us through different languages, the use of different symbols and the different meanings by different peoples. It was a division. And the essence of all this is to come back together as one. That New World Order, yeah, accept it gracefully. Not their concept, but the concept of a New World Order where the people come together as one. Because if the people did that, then that public New World Order wouldn't have any authority whatsoever. And they would know it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please share and spread the word. Share and spread the word. Share that it's magic, as long as it's truthful. Because only in truth can we stand under God. In the beginning was Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was truth, and the Word was, or in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with truth, and the Word was truth. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with magic, and the Word was magic. As long as you know the truth and stand under God. Otherwise, you're just casting evil spells in hopes that you can take advantage of somebody that doesn't know. I don't care to take advantage of people that don't know. I care to help them. And those that can help themselves, I'm arm in arm, side by side. I'm not ahead of you. I'm not a leader. And I'm not a follower. I'm in action. I'm a verb. I'm not a noun. I'm not something you put on paper. I'm not something you describe to somebody else. I am all there ever was, all there ever will be, and all there is. I'm everything in life because it resides in me, and I know that. And I know how to do things on my own. One. O-N-E. I do that through the chemical actions within my body, the polarization, the movement of the water molecules in my body as I put them in my body and as I let them out, and all times in between, as it always was, as it always is, and as it always ever will be. And I hope my words today have some kind of magic effect on you people to move you in the right direction, to polarize yourself in the right direction under a good quality moral standard, so we can pass this along and spread the truth. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be zipped. So think about it, folks. God bless you. I love you all.